All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Only Lawsuits podcast. We have our wonderful co-host back today, Farah, and our main man, Audie, who's been one of our recent guest hosts. And today is episode 41.
41.
41 episodes.
Season 3?
Season 3. Which Mike was ragging on me for.
I just found out we had 3 seasons.
We've got 3 seasons. We started this podcast in late 2024. So today is going to be a little bit different than what we usually discuss because I think the past like 4 or 5 episodes we have been discussing legal stuff, but it's been a little bit more pop culture oriented about what's going on
and political. I'd say
pop culture and political. But today you brought up the fact that there are 2 major cases with Karmelo Anthony and David, and I feel like that's a fantastic showcase today to kind of get into the more legal side of things.
Yeah, so it's been, it's these cases have been really developing over the past few months, and we haven't really been able to talk about them because we weren't making shows while we were moving to the new office, so obviously, these are 2 very big cases that have happened. I think they're great subjects, and honestly, like they have a lot of dynamic in how they're approached, how I approach them when I'm looking at them as a lawyer. So, I think it's a great opportunity for me and Farah, 2 lawyers, to discuss it with you 2 and kind of just see kind of what everyone thinks and talk through it. So we'll start with the most recent one. Would probably be the Karmelo Anthony case. So Karmelo Anthony, he was accused of killing. So he was arrested for killing a young man by the name, I think, of Austin Metcalf in Texas. This was about a year ago. Fast forward, the trial just happened. Very weird trial. There was a lot of scrutiny around the trial. They basically did jury selection, and in the jury selection, they dismissed all the black jurors. Wasn't based off of what I'm aware of. It wasn't because of race, but that's obviously what the appellate and defense team is now insinuating, that their dismissal was based off race. And so that's one thing. To the best of my knowledge, the dismissal from them was not based off race. Now, with that being said, the jury was not an all-white jury. There were Hispanics, there was Indians in there, and it was a mix, right? So the concept of jury of your peers is something you got to be, acknowledge. But the real reason why I think this case is so interesting is the actual, they just released a lot of the footage that wasn't previously released to the public prior to the trial. So in this case, there's a blurry video that we could try to find, and Tremont maybe can put it into post, where it shows Karmelo Anthony coming into the stadium, and this was a track meet. He sits down. Supposedly it was raining. It doesn't look like there's any bad weather. People are kind of walking around, but there's like a tent in the stands. Karmelo Anthony sits down in the tent. Evidently, Austin Metcalf and his brother are right there, opposing teams, right? This is the Metcalf brothers' team tent. Karmelo Anthony's coming from another school, sits there, a little weird, right? Evidently, something ensues where, he says, something happens between them, but it wasn't a physical altercation that you can see in the video. Keep in mind, the video is very blurry. But essentially, Karmelo Anthony, I think the Metcalf brother touches the shoulder or somehow touches him, not physically violent from what we can see. Next thing you know, there's some words exchanged. Karmelo Anthony evidently says, touch me again. You're going to see what happens. Austin Metcalf, I believe, touched him again on the shoulder, and he pulls a knife out, stabs him above the heart or right in the heart. And the saddest part of this whole thing is, obviously the Metcalf brother, twin brother, held his brother and he died. Like literally, and it was really, really actually shitty, man.
When did it actually happen? When did this actually take place?
Like a year ago.
About a year ago. Yeah.
So this happened like while he like I'm sorry, I don't know anything about this other than what you just told me, but this happened while Carmelo Anthony is like a famous person.
No, Carmelo
No.
Anthony's not a famous
Okay,
person.
so
So then-
it's not.
Oh,
Okay, so-
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
to give people context, this is Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo with a K, not the Carmelo Anthony that we know as the basketball player who played for the New York
this
Knicks,
is why this is very,
the
very
Denver Nuggets.
confusing to me.
This is Carmelo Anthony, who is a high school student.
named Carmelo.
Yeah,
He's a high school student. Yeah.
Okay.
he's a-
And then Austin Metcalf, also not famous.
yeah, high school student.
High school
Okay,
student.
because
Yeah.
that's also a famous person's name.
Yes.
Really?
In my mind, there's two
Oh.
famous people. Someone got stabbed, and I'm like, how do I not know about this?
Yeah.
No.
They do. Yeah, I know, and that's actually funny because she's right. Like both of them share names with
Famous people.
with people who are famous.
So really, this is a sad story, right? You know, and obviously, it became a thing about race, right? But the biggest thing about it was the parents. The parents instantly started a GoFundMe, raised several hundred thousands of dollars.
Carmelo Anthony's parents.
Carmelo Anthony's parents
For his
And
legal.
for his legal defense.
Okay.
But somehow, some way, somehow, some way, they had to move to a new house. So they used the money to move to a new house and buy a new car. So people were scrutinizing this. And then there was, there's an influencer, Charleston White.
Yeah.
So I just saw this a few days ago. Charleston White came out, really funny comedian guy. He was advocating for the Anthony family because he was saying, this is a black-white thing, and he actually flipped and said, no, like the parents are actually just like trying to just focus on getting money and getting this. And they're not even getting the best lawyers for their son. So like, needless to say, the trial happened. They got, I believe the attorney was white. I didn't see the trial. I didn't pay attention to anything really, just from what I could, scour through and review over the past while the trial was happening. But evidently they hired a white lawyer for their son. Their son, the defense was a very weird defense. In my opinion, this case should have never gone to trial because in the police arrest video, when they arrested Carmelo Anthony, they said, he's alleged to have killed, or stabbed someone. Carmelo Anthony literally says in the footage,
Yes.
oh, it's not alleged, I did it.
Yeah. I can.
Right?
Yeah. I did it.
But they could throw out those statements unless they Mirandized him.
So, and that's where I don't know whether or not they Mirandized him at that point, but at that point still, like,
And how old was he?
he was 17.
17
Okay,
years
so
old.
there you go. There's another layer of protection because he's a minor.
Yeah, but I mean, not when I don't know what Texas law is, but I mean, I think even
Because
they
would
choose-
need an adult present if they decide to question him.
Yeah, but and that's where I don't know. See, I don't know what
even
they
if
did.
he's being charged as an adult. But yeah, again, it depends on Texas law. But they would still need an adult present before they can question him.
My take on it, from what I know of the case, from the details that I've read, is that I know they've been trying to make it out to be racial, which, if we're honest, sometimes that can be, that can be a factor in the outcomes of cases, and that's happened frequently over the past few decades, where some of like these cases have had a lot of publicity. But I feel like in this specific case, they're making it out to be racial. And yes, maybe maybe there wasn't one black juror, but the jury was multi-ethnic. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're making it out to be racial, but some of the students that's come forward, that information has come forward, that were interviewed, that were basically saying that Carmelo Anthony killed Austin, were actually black students who were on the football team.
And while we're
right?
talking about black students, I'd like to get to refer to our senior mixed correspondent, Adian. He is black, white mixed, and he was just graduated from high school. So you're the
Yes.
best person to give us advice on this. Tell us what your thoughts are, our senior mixed correspondent. Sonny.
Senior mixed, just out of high school.
Just
course.
out of high
I
school.
mean, yeah. And you could be charged as an adult. No.
I mean, obviously, I wasn't there, but I mean, the whole situation is crazy. Because first off, first thing when I heard the case is like, why did Karmelo Anthony even have a knife at a track meet in the first place? Being on the track team,
Yes.
Why does
Great
he have
point.
a knife? Being on the track team,
I
carrying
thought
it around in
all-
his
I
backpack.
thought all grown men have like some type of knife or gun on them.
But
like,
he's
at
not a
all
grown. But he's
times.
not a grown man.
and,
though.
and to compound that, it's not even him being on the track team having a knife at school.
Yeah, because it was in his backpack. It was in a backpack that he had. So who knows when he's had this thing? I'm sure he probably had it in school the whole entire day. So like, why does he have that? Firstly, and then second thing is, why do you go to someone else's tent? Like, if I'm playing basketball, I'm not gonna go into another team's huddle. That doesn't make any sense during timeout because they're going over plays. You're not gonna go over there and be like, oh, what's happening over here? Obviously, and if you do, obviously they're gonna be like, get the hell out of here, right? And then like you did say, there were videos and they were grainy, so we can't tell. But like you did bring up a good point. The videos, they look like there was no bad weather, at least bad enough weather to the point where you would have to go hide and cover for something. It was pretty bright outside. It was like, it wasn't storming or anything.
Well, it's like, look, we went out on, what was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
We went out. No, was it Saturday we went out to the coast?
I think it was no,
Literally.
Sunday, Father's Day.
Listen, Father's Day, we went out on the boat and it was fucking pouring, bro. And we were still outside hanging out. If you look at that video, that does not look like bad weather. We were in a legitimate storm and we were still outside. So it's like when you take things like that in perspective, he's absolutely right. Like if you want to lie, and this is something as an attorney, when I was looking at this stuff, I'm looking at it, I'm like, why in the world would you even think to take these things stacked against you? And if you're not going to play the race card, from what I understand, they didn't play the race card as hard, and they didn't hire a high profile, attorney, legal defense team that normally would know how to play the race card. Like, why the hell would you take this to trial? Like, understandably, your son admitted or Karmelo admitted to killing the kid, and clearly, like, did he intend to kill the kid? That's the difference between murder and a manslaughter charge, right?
Yeah.
But when you're being charged with murder and you have all these factors stacked against you, the fact that you brought a knife to school, the fact that you went to an opposing team's tent, the fact that you literally verbally warned him, if you touch me, something's going to happen. Like, you can't claim self-defense in that situation, at least to the best of my knowledge. I don't know what Texas allows, but clearly their self-defense approach didn't work. And, as weird as this sounds, like, the defense team needed to play the race card, right? Because, like, look,
OJ.
we look at OJ, right? OJ, Johnny Cochran did an amazing job in the OJ trial, and you can see it through the various documentaries. You can see it through the various, reenactment, like, that's
He used the environmental upheaval at the time due to the race riots to their advantage, knowing that, even if you have all this evidence stacked against you, you can still have the court of public opinion on your side.
I do think, though, that even, and that's just my opinion, had they played the race card, it still would have been an uphill battle, because does the shove that Austin Metcalf made to Karmelo Anthony warrant Karmelo Anthony reacting by pulling a knife out and stabbing him? Did he feel like his life, I feel like it's very hard to make that argument that he felt like his life was in danger, because because what you just said,
you're using deadly force.
You're using deadly force
against non-deadly force.
You're using deadly force against non-deadly force, and you just said it. He said prior to that, if you touch me again, something bad is going to happen.
So no, that's a great point, but that's what I'm trying to get to, right? Like, so the job we have as lawyers and is mitigating our clients' liability, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But I think straight up a white attorney is going to be too scared to play the race card because they don't, number one, they don't know how to do it properly. And number two, they're going to be under a lot more scrutiny about how they're using it because they don't know all the different variables.
The only white attorney I think that could pull this off is Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele. Like, I mean, that is one white lawyer that he's got credibility.
But this is actually a really good segue into both of you being attorneys. If we already know what the verdict is. He's guilty. I think he got sentenced to 35 years plus,
which
right?
we're going to try to repeal.
35 years, and he has the ability, I think, for parole in 17 years, after 17 years or something.
Oh.
So, like, realistically,
I hate to say it, but that's not bad for a murder that you've been convicted of.
But
that's why the family also wasn't, they weren't too happy with the sentencing as well because
because he's up for parole in 17 years.
Because he's still up for parole in 17 years.
Well, so I want to touch base really quick. When you're distinguishing the use of force, right? In Florida, it's very the self-defense. The way you use self-defense changed a few years ago in Florida, right? It used to be that you had to prove that you were using self-defense in Florida. And I believe, and I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I carry a firearm. I'm familiar with the law. Last I heard, the burden now shifted to the state to where they have to prove that you were not using self-defense. And what you did was hit how the state could have proven that right on the head, right? Same thing. It's the use of force. Now, hypothetical situation, if a guy like me approaches Farah and I grab her or touch her on the shoulder, the likelihood of her being able to utilize force against someone like me is more justified. Like deadly force is more justified.
So I wouldn't say deadly force. I would use like more force.
Yes, but you could use a weapon. It would be substantiated because look, I'm a bigger guy and I could easily what is she gonna do? Like try to push me back? No, I'll just bear hug her and throw her. Like that's. But if I go up to you,
alone with Mike.
Yeah, like I'll just. Oh, you didn't get this task done. I'm the juggernaut. But if me and Josh, if I come up to Josh and I hit him on the shoulder, if Josh pulls out a knife on me, that's not equal.
Because you're more evenly matched.
More evenly matched.
But there's a lot of cases that happened here in Florida where people have tried to utilize a gun, and say, "Oh, I'm going to shoot this person," and it's self-defense, and they haven't gotten away with it, right? Yeah. So deadly force is allowed so long as its use is just. And the statute in Florida, I think it says whether you're in fear of your life or there's a commission of a felony or something like that, then it justifies the use of deadly force.
Or if you're in fear for your life or someone else's
someone
life.
Else's, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You as a lawyer for Karmelo Anthony, the way I would have approached it, I would have played the race card very hard to where the public, state attorneys, and all the individuals involved would have had to think, are we willing to take this to trial and literally have our entire public office scrutinized to the level that LA was scrutinized during OJ, right? And then number two, should we just offer him a plea deal to where it's manslaughter, you get this, so on and so forth. And one way or the other, I don't think Karmelo Anthony should have gotten off from the charge, right? The concept of justice is something that we have to constantly weigh with people. It costs a lot of money with lawyers. And when you hand it off to a jury, the uncertainty, frankly, you're handing it off to strangers that only get to know a part of you as a person, right? From what I hear, the kid worked multiple jobs and, he played sports and he had a good future ahead of him and he screwed up. after what I've seen from, some of the claims on the parents, I think I know where he screwed up. It's because, the parents might have something to do with it. Needless to say, they gotta, no matter what the situation is, a young man died and there's gotta be repercussions for that, right?
I'm surprised with the sentencing though, because Texas also has death penalty, and Texas is probably other than Florida, one of the states that has, no, I think it is the highest number of death penalty signings.
Listen, they say don't mess with Texas for a reason.
Do you think the judge showed leniency in the sentencing based off of his age and the circumstances of the case?
Based on the actual sentencing that you're saying, 35 years, 17 for parole, absolutely they gave leniency for his age. I don't necessarily see how that's appropriate, because we see other people going in for much less, being sentenced with much more. But that's the judge's decision at the end of the day.
As our senior mixed correspondent, Adi, as a younger high school, formerly high school student, what is the culture that you experienced when it comes to, people getting into scruffles like that? And is that the culture of younger people? Hey, I want to stab you, or is this just because that's something you got to take into consideration? Because look, our generation,
our high school kids ask.
That's what high school is. Damn, dude, I didn't know that it segued that far.
That's what I'm saying. Back in the day, back in the day when I was in high school, we didn't just stab people at track meets.
I mean, I don't think that's a common occurrence.
But we also had Columbine, so
Well, we did we did have a situation at university,
and that brings up a big difference.
Yeah.
School killers have changed.
But we did have a situation at university after we both graduated, University High School down here in Central Florida.
But that was
where,
fighting.
But yeah, it was a kid by the name of Michael Nieves. I think he got stabbed in the bus loop. At
was
University
it stabbed
High School.
in the bus loop? I thought.
Yeah,
let me take that question.
It was also by another student. So, but you're right. The context is different. The context is different because he was.
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
their frontal lobe isn't developed.
All right, we can't say that because personally,
no, that's just a fact.
Obviously, it's not developed all the way. But me as someone that doesn't have a fully developed frontal lobe, I'm like, hey,
no,
motherfucker, you touch me, I'm stabbing you in the chest. I'm not carrying a knife at all times.
Did you feel so based off of your perspective right now with everything that you know, do you think that it was justified that Karmelo Anthony was guilty, during this trial?
Yes. I think 100% that what he did was wrong and he should be sentenced. And, Farah brought up a good point. I feel like the sentence is a little bit too lenient, being the fact that he can get out in 17 years and what he did was outrageous, honestly, just stabbing someone in the chest.
So now after the trial, here's a twist. After the trial, the father did a podcast and he made some comments because there was a gag order evidently that didn't allow anyone to talk about the case. So needless to say, it got pretty dicey. But he did say some interesting things and kind of made it have a racial tone. One of the things he said, Karmelo Anthony is now a watermelon felon.
It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Now,
what the hell does that mean? Watermelon felon?
Because he's black. Black people like
senior,
watermelon.
Senior mixed correspondent. What does that mean? Can you please interpret that racial slur?
For me, it would mean because he's black people like watermelon. He eats watermelon felon, and he's a felon. There you go. But the thing is though, it's like was
that is fucking
this
crazy.
For real?
Yeah, he really said that.
His dad literally called his son a watermelon felon.
His dad is
the father of the
Metcalf
kid that
family.
died.
Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf's dad.
Oh my God. God, that's
Yes.
so much worse. I thought he was calling his
dude,
kid
if
that.
the father said
But-
he was a watermelon
but-
felon, that would have been I would have
Wow.
lost
That'd
my
been
shit.
hilarious.
But hold on though, because we gotta all remember though, at the beginning of this whole scenario, when it first happened, the dad of the Metcalf family literally said, "This is not about race. It goes beyond race. This is just purely the fact that a kid got murdered for something simple." So, but when he did that, the attorneys for the Karmelo family were being like, no, ignore the Metcalf father. This is all about race.
So
But how does
what's
that how does
yeah.
that make sense? Why are we
He was probably
ignoring
angry
the
about that,
But
too.
why are we ignoring the victim's family?
Well, so
Yeah.
here's an interesting fact that made me, like I understand he made that statement, and like, do I condone that sort of like racial remark? No.
But also,
But-
is it helping that his son was murdered? Like
But
that's
here's the
not
thing.
that's gonna enable more of
When-
his racism.
When the murder happened, they had like a visual. The Anthony family held like an open like vigil or something, like something
Vigil.
to try to like get support for their son. The Metcalf father went to it and they kicked him out because he literally offered them like, listen, I forgive your son for what he did.
Yeah.
And they kicked him out.
Yep.
So this has always been about, in my opinion, that showed me it was always about them trying to utilize this race relation for financial benefit.
Yep.
And, in my opinion, I feel bad for Karmelo Anthony in that his parents kind of screwed him and set him up for disaster in
But
this situation.
why is the Anthony family acting like they're the victims, having like a vigil and then asking for like money and all this kind of stuff, and then ignoring the actual victim's family? It
That's
makes
just-
no sense.
That's I don't want to say it, but like a lot of black people do that. Just
And Adi is our senior mixed correspondent. He has perspectives from both white and black.
yeah.
So whatever he says, I believe. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, it's sad to
He's
say.
experienced in both mindsets.
I am actually. It's sad to say though, but
Is there ever a time, Adi, that you like approach a problem and you're like, it's like, you ever seen those like
Two-Face?
games where you can choose like which path to go and you're like, all right, this is gonna sound bad, but fuck it. You go to a restaurant and
Oh.
you
mashed potatoes or fried chicken.
and you have to pick which way am I going?
I don't have like
You
a cutscene.
motherfucker. I'm just like,
I don't have a cutscene.
I never
where it's
know
like,
where the conversation's going with you.
I don't have a cutscene that's like
Mike.
black side, white
Mike.
side. Which one do
Curry
you
or
choose?
lo mein?
Oh, it's always curry, dude. I
I'm a
constantly
curry
have that
guy
battle.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, racism. I think racial jokes are hilarious because you know what? It's something that we all know is out there, right? And we can all make fun of each other evenly, right? Like that's what. And I think having like this sort of interface where we can joke about our cultural quirks, that shit is what brings people together at the end of the day. So Adi makes fun of me all the time. I make fun of him. We both make fun of Caden. Like it's just.
I mean,
It's a rite of passage.
our office is like completely ethnic, and we rag on each other.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
fair, like we definitely don't believe in white supremacy because we got rid of like all the white people.
He said we
Yeah.
got rid of.
Yeah, I mean,
We got. They
Got it,
left
that's
on
fair.
their own accord.
I mean,
and-
technically,
and-
They
I'm
did leave
married.
on their own
I'm
accord.
married to a white, so
I'm half
but she's
white.
an ethnic white.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one way.
even
or
the way
other.
that you say it, yeah, I'm married to a white. It's like, damn, dude. What are we back?
I don't
in
really
the
want to, but
back in the
it's just
times
when
of
cards have been
segregation.
dealt.
Jeez.
Listen, I do not believe in segregation. I believe in bringing the cultures together and profiting off of them.
If you're married to a white,
Not one race profiting off of all races.
the way that you communicated by saying, yeah, I'm married to a white, we on our restrooms, it should just say for colors only. Yeah.
Oh my god! Have y'all ever seen the episode?
Adi has one foot in the door because he doesn't know.
I'm
He's
sitting in
gonna
the
be
middle
at
of
that
both.
crossroads where he's like, which restroom do I use?
Guys,
Well, as our senior black correspondent, come on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh god.
doesn't have a mic.
So the next case that I want to kind of talk about is
So this is one that has inundated pop culture.
this is like
Yeah.
this is definitely a case that we didn't really get to cover as well, but same thing, younger black artist convicted or charged with killing, and like the shit that came out about this case is wild as shit.
Yeah.
He evidently killed Celeste. We're talking about David. He killed a girl named Celeste that was 15 years old.
He was grooming her since she was like 11
Grooming
or 12.
her since she
Yeah.
was like 11 or 12. Totally disgusting. Like, come on, dude. Especially if you're
Famous.
a celebrity with money. So purportedly, the way the state attorney brought the charges is they basically said that they believe Celeste and David got into a fight and she threatened to like ruin his career. He obviously had a bunch of brand deals, so on and so forth. So instead of hiring a PR company and or entering into a settlement and or figuring out a way to not kill a minor, he went, invited her over, killed her, then ordered kill room stuff from Amazon under a name, like an alias name for another girl, but it was under his Amazon account, I guess. It was
What's
all
a kill
delivered.
room?
All delivered to his house.
All delivered to the rental house that he had in LA. Like he basically ordered like plastic, like Dexter
Like,
shit.
oh my god.
He ordered, I don't even think he ordered like a gas powered chainsaw. He ordered like an electric chainsaw
Yeah.
or something that he used to cut this girl up. Then this is how you know these kids are dumb nowadays. Like
Yeah.
they use an electric chainsaw to cut up a body, number one. Number two, he then went and put her in the trunk of an electric car
Frunk. It was in the
Frunk.
frunk.
But
and left it there.
But before this, one thing that came to light is that he did a lot of live streams with, smaller influencers on Twitch and Kick or whatever, was whatever platform he was using, and people that were invited over to his house, and I saw some of this footage where they were invited into the house and they were live streaming. They complained about the smell.
Oh yeah. So
And he was just like, "Oh, I took a massive shit. That's why the house is like
Ew.
the
I
house
Forgot
smells this
about
way."
that. Yeah, that's crazy.
wait, did you watch it? Did you used to watch his live stream?
No, I didn't, but I remember hearing about it. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. No,
oh.
so this is a clip that's circulating on the internet now, where the people that come over, they're, you could tell that they're, that you could tell that they smell something, and out of like him, trying to kind of hide it, he's making statements like, "Oh, the bathroom smells that way because I took a massive shit in it."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
wild.
yeah,
That's
it's
so
wild,
weird.
man. It's wild. So this is before he had transported
Her body.
her body into the Tesla and parking it,
So-
in that abandoned
But
lot.
she was this happened. He didn't get caught for 2 years. She went
No.
missing for 2
He went
years.
she went missing for I think since 23, and then she was with him. I personally think the parents knew that
100%.
she was with him. Like, how the fuck does your kid go
Because
missing?
they assumed that she had just run away, right?
Yeah, but and that's the thing. Like, as a parent, like, yeah, the kid runs away. Like, there's not much you can do about it. Like, you deal, but at the same time, your kid is with an adult. Like, she had the parents reported that shit and said, "Listen, my 13-year-old is with a adult celebrity in LA, and he's probably having sex with her." I guarantee you, she wouldn't be dead today. So like realistically, who are the bad actors in this situation, right? And like, I hate to.
I mean,
Like-
first and foremost, David.
100% David, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like you as a parent, like you do kind of bear some
Oh
responsibility.
no, 100%. The parents definitely bear partial responsibility because look, as parents, you try to be involved as much as possible in your kid's life and what's going on. And I know a lot of parents struggle with staying involved, based off of like them having busy work schedules, but a good parent, even if you're oblivious to some things, should be able to catch like, hey, she's coming home at all of these late hours in the night. She's staying out all these late hours, and not coming back till early in the morning. And
For a 13-year-old.
and to compound that fact, she's 13 years old.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm sorry, but 13 years old, like when Caden was 13, we would monitor his phone. You know what I'm saying? Like now we obviously don't have to do that because we've built a good trust system. But you know, I'll go in there if I need to, and you know, like, look, at the end of the day, if I pay for it, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? And as a responsible parent, like, you've got to learn. You got to treat kids with respect. You got to teach them to be adults. But at the same time, you can't like just.
There's such thing as too much freedom.
Yeah, when a kid's giving you problems, you don't just give up on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad. It's sad this young girl died, you know, but because I have nieces that are that age. And I'll tell you what, if my nieces disappeared and ran away, I will be damned if I just sit around and do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
not
that's
reported at the
crazy.
very least.
Dude, insane. Insane.
Damn.
Shit.
God said that's enough parent bashing.
All right, I'm sorry.
I know
But-
Florida weather.
But so, like, what are your thoughts, you know, with the David case? Like, do you obviously, I think you used to listen to his music.
Yeah.
Why do you kids kill people?
Is he even a part of my generation? How old
I mean,
is he?
you listen to his music.
That doesn't mean anything. Why? Who is you kids? I mean, I'm not gonna kill no one, but but I mean, yeah, I can't speak for everyone as a whole. I don't know. Like what they're just like.
What
Why
are
do
they
you-
teaching you kids?
Yeah, why did you guys listen to his music?
I like the music.
Was it what made you want like his
Listen, we
music?
can't talk. Our generation's right.
I was gonna
with
say
with problematic artists.
You guys,
We
used to
were
listen
listening. We were listening to good music like Uchi.
I've heard some good music from y'all. It sounds pretty gay. I heard a song about a dude sucking someone else's dick. I'm not gonna lie. That
You don't think your generation's not doing that?
no, we don't have music
I
like
swear
that
to God,
anymore.
y'all have like legitimately gay rappers.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
okay now. Before it wasn't okay.
Yeah,
Gay,
so you
thugs
don't
used to
think
be
that-
No,
like
It's always been okay. It's just we did it. Look at Diddy.
Yeah, exactly. Thugs were like,
We had
"Oh,
the
I'm not
good
gay."
sense.
Thugs would be like,
Yeah.
"I'm not gay,
Listen.
but I fuck dudes in the ass though."
There's nothing wrong with being gay, but you guys are just openly gay, which is cool. No problem.
You
But-
sounded like such a no problem.
But listen, no problem.
No problem.
No problem, Beta. But y'all are killing people, bro. And you're having freak offs
I mean,
and you're
y'all-
doing crazy
whoa,
shit.
Whoa. Diddy was having freak offs, buddy. Not us. Diddy.
He right.
Diddy was having
He
freak
right.
offs.
All right.
He right.
You know
Yeah,
what? We'll
it's not us.
compromise. But we didn't. Our generation of like rappers and shit, maybe they did kill people. But,
No, he definitely did.
you
They
know
were-
what? Let's just
no, I'll
walk
give it to
away
you,
from
though.
this.
No, hold-
it's June. We just got done with Juneteenth. Let's just fucking move on.
I mean, that has nothing to
Josh
do.
is uncomfortable.
The-
You
Look
know,
at Josh.
I
Josh is
mean, listen, you know,
uncomfortable.
with that being said, what another great episode of the Only Lawsuits podcast. I mean,
Juneteenth, Mother's Day,
Juneteenth,
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Wait, Mother's Day?
Well, Mother's Day was in May, but I'm
Mother's
saying
Day
we
was in
passed all
May.
that. So we were bashing parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
talked
bad
about-
parenting. I
Yeah.
mean, we're caught up. We're
Yeah.
getting caught up with the times. You know, life
we're
is
getting
good.
we're getting caught up with the times, and we're getting caught up with the podcast.
With the podcast. We filmed, 2 weeks in a row. Finally, we've gone through a lot. Tremont has really been stressing us out about a lot of stuff, and we yell at him about messing up wires and shit. So it's a give take relationship. We're figuring this shit out, and we'll be doing this every single week now.
Yeah, we'll be doing it every single week. Farah, good to have you back. Audie, congratulations on graduating
And not
you.
killing people.
and not
Thank
killing
you.
people.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a big one right there.
You're turning
Very
out to be
big.
a fine
Very
young
big.
man, and to everybody tuning in to our episodes, thank you so much. We're trying to be more consistent. If you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And until next time.